Okay, yeah, we can get started. So the
Okay.
position is white's turn. And of course, black has pretty messed up coordination, yeah, as you can see.
Yeah.
Uh, Rafi, I'll just be back. Give me 1 minute.
Sure.
Okay, I'm back. Okay.
So let me just share my ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't found anything concrete yet. So a couple ideas. One is basically somehow I want to be able to take advantage of this king and rook on this diagonal,
Mm-hmm.
potentially. Like if I can get the queen to move, a check on e5 would maybe pick up the rook.
Mm-hmm.
I've looked at things like knight g6 with check, and if he takes, then a rook check on f8, king takes, then maybe opens up some idea for a queen to come in with a check as well,
Okay,
but
the
not
queen,
really
queen
seeing.
is not coming to h2, yeah, that's the problem.
Right. Um, so maybe basically, hmm. So maybe changing the move order a little bit, maybe starting with rook takes first, knight takes, then knight g6, king takes. But then I don't have enough pieces to really deliver a checkmate there anymore, I think.
Mhm.
And I still can't go to h2.
Yeah. So I think here it's pretty obvious that the forcing moves doesn't work. Yeah, you have to come up with a preparatory move first. So you have to make a move which will later on threaten either knight f7 or knight g6 and things like that.
So I did think of one preparatory move, which would have been rook h1, trying to hold on to the pawn just so that the check is much more lethal. Outside of that,
But rook h1, there is some rook e4 kind of weird tactics here.
oh yeah. One idea would be to so speaking of coordination problems, one idea might be to try to see if I can take advantage of this rook and the knight. And I thought maybe I can attack them both. Queen e3.
Yeah,
With rook
so
e4, I take the.
that's so basically queen e3 has to be the first human move which everybody should consider in this position, yeah, because both the rook and knight are hanging.
Really?
Yeah, that does have a pretty strange defense though with rook d5 and
So
somehow
let me pause you for a second. So you said that the queen e3 should be the first move human beings should immediately consider. You don't think that we should first consider knight g6, rook
no, no,
f7,
no.
knight f7?
After the forcing moves, like once you reject
Oh,
f7, knight g6, yeah, then when it comes to
okay,
the preparatory move sequence, you have to look for queen e3 because that's
gotcha.
probably the that's probably the next best forcing sequence, if you can say.
Right, right. Makes sense.
But of course, the first move I think which everybody should consider here is knight f7 and knight
Mhm.
g6. I mean, depends on whatever feels correct to you.
Mhm.
I myself, when I first solved this position, it took me also some time to figure out, but I was so hung up on knight f7, because it's like a move which felt that it should work. Yeah, that has to be the solution.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, knight f7 doesn't work here.
So after queen e3, if rook e4 in that scenario, then I can take on g5.
Mhm.
And if queen takes g5, then sorry, if queen takes e5, then I don't know how I would continue that because I don't have any other checks to give. Maybe I can try. I was like queen h6, but he can just play queen g7, I think, or something like that.
But queen e5 allows queen d8, yeah, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the rook is not on d4
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah, that would work because then if rook king takes, then rook h1, king g7, and then queen h8 is gonna be checkmate.
Yeah.
So after queen e3, rook e4, queen takes g5, rook takes e5. I have queen f6 check, king takes h7, and then rook h1 should win. Wait, hold on. Rook h1, then there's also rook f h5.
Yeah, rook h5 and defense, yeah, everything.
Hmm. So I'm trying to see if there's maybe in between I can do something like queen e3, rook e4, then knight takes g6, knight takes f7, rook takes f7. Is there anything in between? Hmm. Okay, so queen e3, rook e4, rook takes f7. He can't take my queen because I have knight g6 checkmate.
Mhm.
That's one thing to consider. So queen e3, rook e4, rook takes f7. What if he plays queen takes f7? Then I can take back with check. So that's not working.
Yeah.
Queen e3, rook e4, rook takes f7, knight takes f7. I can then take the knight with check and then pick up the rook. Is that winning? Hold on, let's see. Rook e3, rook e4, rook takes f7, knight takes f7. Knight g6, king takes h7. I don't think I have enough to win with just the queen and the knight. Queen e3, rook e4, rook takes f7, knight takes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So queen e3 is not working. Okay, I'm gonna help you with the first move actually. What about queen h2 directly? Start with queen h2.
Setting up a discovered check, huh?
Mhm.
Okay. In that case, you will try. Oh, I see the problem now. After queen h2, queen e7, I have rook f7 type of stuff.
Yes, to start with.
Hmm. What does he have to do? Queen h2. Queen h2, queen e7, rook f7. He can't take on f7, but he can give a check on d1, king a2, and there's no checks, no more checks. No more good checks, at least. So after queen h2, basically, somehow he needs to be able to defend g6, because otherwise I'm playing rook takes f7 next, no matter what. And I'm not really seeing any way that he can defend that g6 pawn.
Yeah, actually, queen h2 has no defense. That's the whole point of this position. It's usually one tactic or the other which will crash through. For example, let's play the moves now. Well, he has to keep an eye on this guy. Yeah? That's another problem.
Yeah.
So it seems queen e7 is forced. I don't see any other way. And here, of course, rook f7 simply wins here. There is no doubt here. And another, like you can say, even of more forcing win is probably if we go knight g6 in this position, also should be fine, I think. So he takes, we give a check. So he cannot take because of rook h1. So he has to play queen g7. And we play now queen b8 and still rook h1 here. So this is also completely winning. So I mean, I think both the variations are winning with rook f7 and knight g6 as well. Rook f7 also, he's probably forced to play queen to f7, and then we can just play this and already start picking up these pawns.
Yeah.
So I think both the variations are winning for white, but queen h2 is the key move to spot. Once you see this, rest of the things become very easy, I think. So I tried to also kind of find queen d8 and try to like create some counterplay here. But I think after this, it's a no check position with this and this being threatened. So don't think he can defend, yeah?
Yeah, I did not see that defense, by the way, the one you just showed right now.
With queen d8, you mean?
Queen d8, yeah.
Yeah, but queen d8, I think, I mean, even if you don't calculate it, it's probably okay because you can just play simply knight f7. I mean, you don't.
I did look at something like that, but I thought that doesn't rook f7 also work here?
I mean, should work. If there are no checks, I mean, this should work as well. Also works, I think. Yeah, it works. It works. For sure, it works.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go for the next one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is oh yeah, this one. Okay. So this one has a very funny story also behind this problem. Will not spend a lot of time, but still let's see if you can figure it out. It's Black's turn, by the way. Can flip it for you if you want.
Okay. So I haven't had anything yet, but I'm thinking that, like, well, somehow if I can get that rook on f1 to be off the back rank, I have tactics involving some sort of knight movement plus queen takes c1.
Okay.
And I also have some sort of ideas of taking on f2 followed up with some type of,
Queen
maybe like a
b6.
queen b6 or queen
Yeah.
c5 type of stuff. That's
Mm,
one idea.
yeah.
I also even thought about trying to somehow make knight c3 work out in my favor as well, forking the queen and the rook.
Okay.
Rook takes f2, knight takes f2. Obviously, I've considered both of those moves as well. And okay, that's all I have at the moment. But I am not seeing anything concrete with any of those, like starting looking at specific calculations. So I've looked at knight takes f2. Rook takes back. Rook takes, king takes, queen c5. Knight takes f2, rook takes no, knight takes f2. He also has rook takes c2.
Mm-hmm.
I take his queen, he takes my queen. I take the rook on f1 with check, he takes back, I take his rook.
Okay.
So that means in that scenario, I would have the rook against the two bishops. And he's gonna move the one on c1. So there's no way to win the other bishop that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Knight takes f2, rook takes c2. Can I play queen takes c2 in between? No, he can just take it with the queen or even bishop or something. Knight takes f2, rook takes c2. Knight takes d1. He can even play rook takes f8 check first.
Yeah.
Rook takes f8 check, rook takes f8. Then rook takes c7. I'm not even getting the rook in that case. So that's not going to work.
Okay. So actually, why I said this has a very funny story because Black actually found the perfect sequence of tactics in this position, starting with knight f2. So it's I mean it's not a very you can say obvious tactics, let's just say, but he did manage to find this move. So the point of this position is very simple. If rook f2, then we take rook f2, yeah. And this leads to a check, and we simply just pick this up.
Oh, wow.
So there is nothing wrong with this position, I'm pretty sure. Um, but there are obviously like some other problems which we'll try to figure out. So we go knight f2, and of course we have to now figure out rook c2, queen c2, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go bishop c2 in this position, you just lose your queen.
Right.
So rook c2, if you play now, now we have to figure out the variation with knight d1. So if you go rook f8, black will go king f8.
Mm.
And this is defensive, yeah, like defend here. So now black is up an exchange.
Show me this variation one more time, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so in rook c2 case, we go
Yeah.
knight takes queen.
Yes.
So white has two options actually. One is to take this first and then this. So if he
Right.
starts with rook f8, we don't use the rook, we use the king.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
This remains defended then.
And
And
so
yeah,
that position, so let's just continue it. Rook takes c7, rook takes c7.
hmm
Black is winning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Black's not winning though, right?
why not?
Oh, sorry. Black has an exchange. Okay, okay, I see.
Yeah, extra exchange, yeah.
And the knight. Oh, he still has the knight.
Yeah,
Why did I miss this in my calculations earlier? What did I not calculate the knight still being on the board for some reason?
it's so this is very typical actually. It's we call it blind spot. That's the best example. While playing the variation, we sometimes forget that one of our pieces is still existing on a square. I mean, it's still in the game. Sometimes the reverse also happens. Like we feel that we have a piece, but in fact we have sacrificed it, somewhere in the middle of the line, or somehow it got traded off as well.
Mm,
So it's a typical case of blind spot. Like it happens from time to time. It's not a very common thing, but it does happen. So especially in a sequence where a lot of captures are there, it does tend to happen.
gotcha.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that
this
makes
is
sense. Yeah.
one variation. And if he goes rook c7, well, we just go rook takes f1. So basically, we prevent him from capturing the knight. So rook f1, king
Mm,
f1, and rook c7. It's the black is winning.
yeah, okay.
So that pretty much leaves with queen c2 here. I mean, there is no other moves in this position. So here is the more difficult part, you can say. So black has to find this move knight h3.
Yeah.
And probably only after this position, so after gh3, queen b6, black wins material.
Mm, gotcha, yeah.
So this is a tactics, but I want to show you the game, by the way. I mean, so this is actually extremely important that we see the game here. So this is what happened in the game, by the way. Knight h3, king g2, rook c2, bishop c2, rook f1, king f1, and queen c7. So amazing move. So basically, this position is not so clear because white has more than enough material, right, for the queen.
Yeah.
But the coordination between these pieces are so bad that black managed to exploit this with queen c7. So this is a check threaten.
Mm,
Rook b2 is pretty much forced since the bishop cannot move. And now black
mm,
comes up with, again, yet another accurate move, d4.
yeah.
So threatening d3. And
Mm-hmm.
from this moment, black found a nearly perfect sequence of like captures and, waiting move or preparatory move and some perfect checks again. And he got to this position where white almost resigned. Yeah, like, it's just the pawns are too fast.
Mm, wow.
Okay, so. overall, you can say like a brilliant game, yeah, by Black here.
Yeah.
Just there was one, I mean, one catch to this particular situation. So, I mean, having said all this, Black, the player who was playing Black, of course, is a strong player, and he did also like one of the best performances in the Olympiad, but he was also caught cheating in the Olympiad, and he was banned for like 5 years or 10 years or something.
Mm.
So there was always this question, if Black played this game with computer assistance.
Who is the Black player?
Sebastian Feller. So French grandmaster. The entire French team. I mean, not the players, but I think the captain of the French team and this guy Feller Sebastian. They both were caught running some sort of a computer cheating racket during the tournament.
Mm. He still has his GM title?
Yes, the title still is there, but he was banned from playing for a long time, I remember.
Oh, he's still playing again now.
I don't know. I haven't been following. I mean, this was, of course, like 10, 12 years back, if I remember. Not
Yeah.
sure if he's playing. Maybe he is, but not very sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
So this position has a like a very nice sequence to it. I mean, all these knight h3 timely and queen b6 and rook c2 happening with the check and everything falling into like places, and
Yeah.
not the most usual thing basically.
Right.
But yeah, he did. I mean, Black did play this, so and this is a problem, when a 2600 plays this, like you kind of can expect a 2600 to find all these as well.
Can or cannot?
Can, of course they can.
Can, right? Yeah.
I mean, I think especially if things are this forcing in nature. I mean, anybody who is having an IM level of qualification can at least calculate all these. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it will be a different thing if it decides to play it or not. But if you give them just to calculate, they can obviously see all these things. It's not that difficult as well.
Hmm. Yeah. I definitely would not have seen this last continuation though with knight h3 and following. Ultimately, the win being that you end up taking advantage of the two bishops in the rook. There's no way I could visualize that when I'm calculating way back from, the first move of the sequence. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
That's really tricky to see, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
I
But
feel
yeah,
like I would naturally calculate out till I get to the position where he's got the two bishops on the rook and determine that, okay, at best, I
compensation.
have an equal position or maybe I'm even losing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'll just
because
leave.
yeah, I mean, I would be very scared to play with rooks and two bishops. But that's the weird part. Like these guys are. I mean, if you didn't notice, these guys could not move, yeah, till the end of the game. I
Yeah.
mean, it was just like so extremely well designed that Black was completely like he did not even give a chance to move these guys.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Rafi, then maybe we can take a break here and probably resume tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah.
Perfect. So let's just
Tomorrow,
what time
go
works
ahead.
for
Why don't we meet tomorrow at I have a